Good morning, I'm Justin Warmoth. Since the Pulse nightclub tragedy in June, the community has come to the aid of those affected. One of those support groups is the Central Florida Foundation, which has dedicated itself to the continued healing of our city. And joining us today on Flashpoint, we have Mark Brewer, CEO of the Central Florida Foundation. Mark, good morning, and thank you for being with us on Flashpoint.
Morning, Justin. Thank you.
We appreciate it. So first off, tell us a little bit about the Central Florida Foundation and what you guys are doing to help the Pulse victims and their families.
The Central Florida Foundation is the region's community foundation, so it's home to millions of dollars in philanthropy established by individuals, families, and businesses. And it's about proactive philanthropy, Justin, so it's capital meant to make social change happen. So after the Pulse event, kind of typical for what we do, we established a fund specifically to make investments in things that would help in 4 areas. The first is the gaps between what's available for these survivors and their families, and then later the healing of the communities as they move ahead, and then ultimately some key areas like mental health and other kinds of health care, which may go on for literally years after this event.
Yeah, because we just marked the 3-month anniversary of Pulse, right. And so that's where we are now, the healing process, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I mean, this disaster is not a lot different than other disasters in that in the beginning there's a lot of chaos and people are racing around trying to figure out what to do. We're kind of in stability now, and that's good and bad. The good part is things have calmed down and we've got a clear view of what needs to be done to get the entire community into healing. But there also is evidence now that some things will go on for longer than we thought. And there will be some areas that there aren't resources for, and the fund is established primarily to make investments in those things.
Okay, now there are several funds out there to help everyone affected by Pulse. What differentiates the Better Together Fund from those?
Yeah, so kind of think of this like an ecosystem. You have 350 people at least hurt in this process. So first you have a compensation fund, the One Orlando Fund, established by the city, which will distribute at the end of September by dividing all of the money in that fund among the survivors and their families. Then the Better Together Fund, which is about supporting the community organizations, the nonprofits that are actually providing support and doing work. There are about 350 other GoFundMe funds that have been set up by individuals specifically for people that were in the hospital or families that have specific needs.
And I don't know if you've had the opportunity to maybe get some reaction, some feedback from the families of those affected, maybe some of the survivors. I don't know, how's that been?
Well, it's amazing. Just imagine what it would be like to have an event like this happen in life when you didn't expect it. And all the things that you might do to prepare for a tragedy like this, the community didn't do it, but neither did the victims. And so now you're in situations where you have to still make rent payments and mortgage payments and car payments, and you have to go on living. And as I've talked to some of the families and the people who are trying to get by now, the biggest issue is they're kind of just coming back. They're just trying to figure out what's next and what do I do now.
It's a very difficult process, but we know that you guys are helping them in great need. But when we come back, we'll hear more from Mark Brewer on what kind of benefits nonprofits provide in this time of tragedy. Stay with us. Welcome back to Flashpoint. Today we're talking with Mark Brewer. He is the CEO of the Central Florida Foundation. And earlier, Mark, we were talking about how important nonprofits are, and especially in a time of crisis like Pulse nightclub, like the incident there. What are some of the gaps in services that nonprofits are providing for victims and their families?
Well, some things that you might imagine. Immediately after the event, we had some folks that were out of town who were then stuck in this community without a place to stay, some of them without food, some of them lost jobs or were injured and weren't able to continue life. Literally, they needed support systems in the community. And so nonprofits came together relatively quickly, literally within about 12 hours, to begin to provide that support system.
Let's get into numbers now. How many grants have been provided to make the Better Together Fund happen?
So the fund will actually make grants about every 30 days. Its first grant was to support 150 families who had the potential of being homeless on August 1st, to help them with rent and mortgage support, car payments, and other things. Now, the fund doesn't give the money to the people. The fund is using nonprofits who vet the requirement and actually pay the bills for these folks in order to help keep them in place.
So earlier we were talking about how you have several different time periods after a crisis like this and after a tragedy like this. Now you're on to the long-term approach. Why are you guys doing this now? And obviously, how long will this go on?
Well, it could go on for years, Justin. When you look at other cities, Aurora, Colorado, if you look at Boston, if you look at Oklahoma City, people ended up needing help years later. In fact, just this last couple of months, they've had new cases of PTSD in Oklahoma City, and that explosion happened 20 years ago. And so mental health services and other healthcare services are a focus of the fund, but also the general healing of the community. How do we make certain that we build the social capital and get these nonprofits for the specific communities strong enough to be able to support these services?
And obviously, you've seen the outpouring of support from many folks all across Central Florida, the United States, and the world even.
Around the world, yeah.
So why do you think that is, and how are the community getting involved in what you guys are doing?
Well, there are two reasons I think you see the support. We're part of a small but growing club, and so cities that have already been through this or experienced it, they know the torture, and we heard from many of them within 24 to 48 hours, corporations and foundations in those cities saying, hey, we know what you're going through, how can we help, and how can we make a contribution to the work that you're doing there? As you kind of move ahead downstream here a little bit, the community, as it begins to come back together, will identify things that we can't even comprehend right now, we don't even know about. But those are the things that we'll start to look at next, and the investments we'll make in those will be to build the stronger and longer support necessary to bring the entire community back together. And
let's talk about donors, because I know there are probably several. Who are some of these donors?
Yeah, there's about 60 donors. In fact, you can visit the fund's website, list them all, and tells you where they're from. But literally, they range from Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines to people who live right here in the community who are interested to make sure that there's some kind of support for people.
Now, a lot of people have been talking about how folks can learn from this tragedy that we've experienced at Pulse and in Central Florida as a whole. How can other communities affected by Pulse build a stronger and more collaborative response?
Yeah, you know, one of the amazing things about what happened here was within 24 hours at the event, the mayor said the city of Orlando will be remembered for how we responded and not for what happened. And literally, that's what happened here. We didn't have a plan, but we had strategies, we had collaboration, and the three sectors, the public sector, the private sector, and the nonprofits, all worked together to get that done. I think what other cities can learn is not to think about planning for an event like this, but to make sure the infrastructure is strong and there's collaboration and there are point people who can go to work immediately, because you don't have much time to sit down and figure out what you're going to do. And
you have many folks at home probably wondering how they can get involved in this and help you guys out. What are some of the ways that they can?
Well, there are essentially three ways. The first way, the easiest way, is there are nonprofits all across the community who are working now within the communities, the LGBTQ community, the Latino communities, all around trying to figure out how to solve problems for those communities. Volunteer, step up, give some help. The second thing you can do is you can visit cffound.org/bettertogether. And there you'll see the fund and all the work that it's doing, and you can make a contribution or identify other folks who are working in the environment that you might want to support either through contributions or through direct volunteer.
Good deal. Mark, we really appreciate you coming in and everything you're doing for our community. It really is making a difference. And, you know, we have more news and weather coming up right after this break, so hope you stay with us.